The Cavaliers, in my opinion, were one of the biggest surprises and one of the most overperforming teams in the NBA this past season. I have three headlines for them: Evan Mobley's Rookie of the Year campaign, Darius Garland's emergence, and their stifling defense as a whole. Now, Evan Mobley was deservingly a Rookie of the Year finalist. He didn't win it, but he was still one of the most impressive rookies. Coming into the draft, he was heralded as one of the best defensive prospects, and even with that being said, he overperformed and surpassed those defensive expectations in his rookie season. He's honestly one of the best defensive rookies I've ever seen. He could rim protect like no other. His rotations were that of like a 10-year veteran, and his ability to switch on the perimeter and guard like 6'3" or 6'4" point guards and shooting guards was remarkable. His defensive versatility going forward is going to be crazy. And then on the offensive end, he just fit really well in the offense. He was a great pick and roll guy, a great pick and roll partner for Darius Garland, Ricky Rubio when he was there, and Karis LeVert when he arrived. He showed a decent ability to handle the ball in the half-court setting and create his own offense mainly off of drives. Moving to Darius Garland, I won't say he carried this offense, but he was the catalyst for this offense. 22 a game, 8.5 assists on 46 from the field and 38 from 3. It was great to see his efficiency improve because that was kind of what was holding back his game his first two seasons. And his efficiency improved when he lost his backcourt partner and lead shot creator in Colin Sexton. And then the main thing that was talked about the Colin Sexton Garland backcourt dynamic was who was going to be the point guard, who was going to get others involved and keep the ball moving. And we saw Garland as this lead point guard being one of the most prolific passers and playmakers in the league. I'd like to see the Cavs build around him and Mobley on the offensive end moving forward. I think he should be the shot-creating guard for the Cavs moving forward, and they should let Colin Sexton go to the side, but we'll talk about that a bit later. And lastly, we got to talk about the Cavs' stifling defense. They were 7th in defensive rating. Coming into the season, they had so many memes placed on them because they had so many people above the height of 6'10". They were playing tall ball, and there's a lot of speculation as if it would work. I thought it wasn't going to work because I thought Lauri Markkanen would get exploited on the defensive end out there, and I thought they were going to roll Colin Sexton and Darius Garland as their backcourt full time, but obviously with Sexton getting injured, those two weren't playing together. But yeah, this defense was superb. Jared Allen, he's one of the best rim protectors in the league, one of the best defensive rebounders in the league. Evan Mobley, as a rookie, being one of the best defenders in the league, being so versatile, that really helped them. And then Lauri Markkanen was passable because he was able to be hidden on the defensive end a lot of times. But he himself did compete a lot harder on the defensive end this year compared to his time in Chicago. And I know Isaac Okoro wasn't the most consistent defender at the two, but he still has high capability as a defensive shooting guard. That's what he was heralded for coming into the 2020 draft. So I'll talk about these players a bit more in depth. We'll talk about their two All-Stars, Darius Garland and Jared Allen. Garland was the lead ball handler, the lead shot creator, very efficient playmaker, and a great three-level scorer. I need to emphasize efficient playmaker because he got 8.6 assists per game and only turned the ball over 3.6 times. That's greater than a 2.0 assist to turnover ratio. So he was really creating at a high level for teammates and taking care of the ball. Next year is going to be the last year of his rookie contract, but it's safe to say that he's going to be in line for a big time extension. Jared Allen was this team's best source of inside offense. He's one of the best pick and roll targets because he moves really well. He's got a good burst for a 6'11 center, and he's 6'11. He's increased his feel around the rim when he's not able to dunk everything. He's got better feel for laying the ball up contested. He's an elite paint protector and a great rebounder. He just signed a 5-year, $100 million contract, which I think this is going to be one of the best contracts in the entire league. A lot of times we talk about players getting overpaid. We talk about players that are making $30 million per year but not even all-stars. $20 million per year for Jared Allen is really good value. Moving to prospects, starting out with the Rookie of the Year candidate or finalist Evan Mobley. Great rim protector, a great help defender, incredible switchability and versatility on the defensive end, and a really good inside scorer. I'm not going to talk about him for too long because I talked about him in the headlines, but yeah, one of the best defensive rookies I've ever seen. His instincts and just awareness and mastering the mental side of defense in his rookie year is just insane. He's going to be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate going forward. As for weaknesses, 3-point consistency. He only shot 25% on about an attempt per game. Shot creation, though he showed ability to create his offense in the mid-range at times, in his rookie year and especially at USC, it's not really a focal point of his game right now. And strength is a weakness, quite a pun. He's still got a really thin frame. Though he was able to rebound and box out at a high level, I worry about his ability to match up against low post bigs if he were to run more small ball center. Like if he was to run small ball center and match up against Joel Embiid, Joel Embiid would feast on that. So probably got to add a couple pounds. The only other prospect I will talk about is Isaac Okoro. The strengths for him are transition offense and defensive upside. He's a great athlete. He was one of the best athletes in the 2020 class, and he was able to show a lot of his athleticism and inside scoring when he had space and when he was running in the fast break. And I say defensive upside because I still think he can be a lockdown defender. One-on-one, he's a really great defender, honestly. And he's shown a lot of signs of being that lockdown guy in the backcourt, but he just needs consistency. And I'll say that as we move into weaknesses, which are his defensive consistency, shot creation, and 3-point consistency. Now, he shot 35% from 3-point land, though that number is a tad bit skewed, as he only really shot 35% on 2 attempts per game, and that number was really down until February and March, where he shot 45% and 45.2%. He's really just like a 33% 3-point shooter. So he's got to get that 3-point shot down. He's got to be able to create offense in the half court. I'm not talking about being a lead shot creator at all. He should be the 5th option in the starting lineup. He should be the 5th scoring option. But being able to attack hard closeouts and honestly just being able to finish around the rim better in the half court when he's contested, he's got to work on that. Being a 3-and-D guy is really gonna have to be his trade in the NBA. So his 3-point shot and his consistency on the defensive end are gonna determine his ceiling. A couple of other guys to talk about. We'll start with Colin Sexton. Only played 10 games, obviously out for the season. The Cavs had their best year after LeBron when Colin Sexton was hurt. That's gotta say something. I wasn't ever in love with the fit of Darius and Colin in the same backcourt. Though Colin Sexton has a lot of shot creating prowess, I don't think the Cavaliers are going to be best suited with Colin and Darius in the same starting backcourt. Now, if Colin wanted to be a long-term 6th man and buy into that role, that could be a tremendous fit because Cleveland could have used some more offensive pop, and his offense off the bench, I think that's going to be his best role moving forward. I don't know if he thinks the same way. I don't think he wants to get paid like a 6th man either, so that's gonna be a problem. I talked about Larry Markkinen, but he was big time, especially for this offense and the big ball or tall ball, whatever. He shot a lot of threes and he was able to shoot them at an efficient level. I think this was some of the best defense he's played in his entire career, which also made this tall ball lineup work. Karis LeVert was a big time pickup. Address the offensive needs of Cleveland as another creator, somebody that can create offense for himself and for others, especially off the bench. And then Kevin Love was a 6th Man of the Year finalist, I believe. JB Bickerstaff did a really good job of hiding him at the 4 position because Kevin's getting too old and too slow to really defend at an average level at the power forward position. Though he did play power, he wasn't really playing center. He was playing power forward out there, and JB did a good job of hiding him. He competed his ass off, but JB did a good job hiding him on the defensive end. And then offensively, Kevin retained his 3-ball. He shot 39% on 6 per game. He had a couple of opportunities to score from the low block, but not that many. He's always been a solid passer for a big man, and he displayed that at times off the bench too. Moving to the offseason, the Cavs have the last pick in the lottery. I think they need to prioritize somebody that can provide some offensive pop. I have them targeting Malachi Branham, Blake Wesley, and Jaden Hardy. Malachi is a shot creating wing. He was a good shot creator, especially from the mid-range. He was really able to create in the mid-range, out of the pick and roll and getting to the elbow, or just one dribble pull-ups after a hard closeout. He's not really going to create his own shot from three-point land, though he was a good catch-and-shoot guy. Blake Wesley is a electric combo guard. Quite a bit of ability to create from outside, and he was natural in creating from mid-range, though he has to get better at finishing inside. And then Jaden Hardy, he's just like a high ceiling prospect. He struggled in the G League in his lone year in the G League, but Jaden Hardy has been a name that was floating around the high school circuit over the past 3 years. Was really like a top 5 player in his class, but he has a lot of offensive potential too. As for free agency, the Cavs don't really have many significant free agents outside of Colin Sexton. Everybody that played for them, like significant minutes for them last season, they're going to be under contract. So the core of this team will remain. As for player need, they could use another offensive-minded guard because they just need more offensive pop. And they could use a forward sniper just to, space things out a little bit for them. Addressing that offensive-minded guard need is I have them targeting Jeremy Lamb and Trey Burke. Jeremy Lamb's always been a streaky three-point shooter, but somebody that likes to drive to the hole. And then Trey Burke, he's like a microwave type of point guard. He can get you a lot of points in very few minutes. So just adding more offensive personnel that way. And then Nemanja Bjelica, also another really good shooter at the forward position. He's got a high basketball IQ. He also has some playmaking game, and we've seen what he's been able to do on the offensive end for Golden State. As for the offseason trade market, I only have Colin Sexton here just because I don't think the Cavaliers view him in their long-term plans anymore. I think here's what I think will happen. I think they're gonna sign and trade him. For what, I have no clue, honestly. But I think the most likely thing to happen regarding Colin Sexton is a sign and trade, and that segues into my predictions. I think one way or another, Colin Sexton leaves Cleveland. The Cavaliers were one of the league's biggest surprises last season. Darius Garland was a finalist for Most Improved Player. He was truly special, generating offense at every level of the floor and being one of the most prolific playmakers in the league. With Colin Sexton missing the entire season due to injury, Garland was the main reason this offense was able to stay afloat. The tall ball lineup worked. Lauri Markkanen shot very well from 3 on a high clip. Evan Mobley's versatility on the defensive end was key to its success, and Jared Allen was extremely solid at the 5, being one of the best rebounders, rim protectors, and catch and finishers. Getting back to Evan, he had a remarkable year. He was one of the best defensive rookies I've ever seen. His awareness on rotations was uncanny of someone his age. His timing on shot contests were superb, and his ability to navigate screens and switch on the perimeter for someone his height, nothing short of amazing. Offensively, he was great as a catch and finisher, showed upside driving and handling from the perimeter, and wasn't afraid to take a 3 or 2 per game. He was very productive on the offensive end, though he still has room to grow, which is scary. Looking to the offseason, the Cavs have the last pick in the lottery, which should be used to add a prospect with the highest offensive capability. Wing shot creator Malachi Branham and electric combo guard Blake Wesley are viable options here. In free agency, Cleveland won't have any cap space, and pretty much all of their core from this past season is already on contract for 2023. With minimum contracts at their disposal, their priority should still be on the offensive end. I haven't talked about Colin Sexton extensively, yet he'll be a restricted free agent this offseason. He showed that he has a lot of offensive prowess in terms of shot creation, but leaves a bit desired on the playmaking and defensive fronts. Cleveland could have used him last season as their offense got a bit stale towards the season's end. I think he would have been great as a 6th man being instant offense. However, he probably thinks higher of himself and wants a role as a big time contributor in the starting lineup and wants to get paid like it. If I had to guess, he won't see that role in Cleveland moving forward, given they just saw their most productive season during his tenure with him sidelined. Regardless of the future of Sexton, Cleveland is on a great trajectory. They have an ascending big three of Jared Allen, one of the best rim protecting and rim running fives, Evan Mobley, one of the most impactful and versatile defenders with a growing offensive skill set, and Darius Garland, a prolific playmaking and shot creating point who just made his first All-Star team. Yeah, they'll need to fine-tune their offense, but Cleveland should like the position they're in moving forward.